All right, we're live. Welcome to Around the Whiteboard. Someone told me last week that I was incredibly low energy. Don't expect better this week. All right, btwb.com/all-in-one. If you're doing, online coaching or affiliate coaching or programming or whatever, and you're not using Beyond the Whiteboard, you just need to kind of have a look at it and just have a look at yourself, the decisions that you made up until this point, what's led you to the path where you are. Get over the disappointment in yourself and then just sign up for that, and it just makes more sense. All right, today we've got Joel Godett, Billy Joel Godett, to give him his full title. He is, I was going to say well respected. He is a games commentator. Let's leave that bit out. He's a games commentator. You might recognize Joel's voice when he started talking, and you'll say like, "Oh shit, that's the dude." Yeah, that's Joel. We've got Roderick, Lopez, meme for time. He puts up videos. That's it. That's what he does. I've got Emma McQuaid, who's a multi-year games athlete. She's currently, I don't know, hip deep in strongman training and odd object shit and whatever, getting ready for Texas. She's, doing Chad hourly, I'd imagine by now. Yeah, that's what a smart athlete would do.
Trying to figure out how she got stuck with the two of us is what she's trying to figure out.
Yeah, bad luck. Again, similar to someone who's not on the whiteboard, you have to reflect on the decisions that you've made up until this point that led you to this. Right, so welcome to rock bottom, guys.
We made it.
You all made it. Okay, we've got 3 topics for anyone that hasn't seen it before. We've got 3 topics, 60 seconds per topic. You speak on whatever side of the topic you feel that you're landing on. And points will be awarded for, like passionate delivery, facts, statistics. As Bartley found out last week, he was full of facts and statistics, but never actually gave an opinion really on any of his answers, so he lost. But his facts were like really good. He just never actually made a point, so he didn't get any points. You need to pick a side, any kind of like it depend isms, or like, well, I mean, it could be, no, like just you're on the wrong show. You need to pick a side, stick to it. If you mock your opponents, me, the audience, questions, anything, you're liable to get an extra, at least 1/10 of a point. Our first topic today, sorry, there's a rebuttal then as well afterwards. You'll figure it out as we go along. It all makes sense. Oh, bollocks. I didn't change this. What was the first topic? How does CrossFit change? Just chat amongst yourselves. I was up at 4:30 this morning because my son woke up.
How many times are you going to tell us you woke up early?
I told you. And then the others came, so I'm just repeating myself so that I just want everybody to know what's happening, Rollo.
I also woke up at 4:30, but it's 5 hours behind. So
I was up at 4, so it's whatever.
So you got extra sleep on me then because you're all behind.
Yeah, obviously. Did you cold plunge in sauna when you woke up?
No, I cold saunaed and hot plunged.
Hot plunge. I get
PEDs. Okay. Fuck it. Right. Emma, you're close to me, so you have to go first. Congratulations. Our first topic is the headline. A lot of you may have seen Joe Rogan, almost forgot his name. Joe Rogan video that was doing the rounds last week. I think Killer made a video about it as well. They were kind of shit talking about CrossFit, saying, yeah, those guys never get tested. There's never any tests. And how it's, just Peds are just flowing through the sport like a river. I don't know. Have you ever done Peds?
No.
Okay, cool. I just didn't want you to make a fool of yourself and like accidentally admit it. Okay, so you got 60 seconds. How can CrossFit change that outward focus or that outward reputation about performance enhancing drugs in the sport? You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I just think CrossFit need to maybe stop giving forward notice. Like ahead of time. Obviously, athletes get like 24 hours notice before the drugs testing actually comes out and tests you. So I think if CrossFit stop that, then potentially they're gonna maybe get more people out of the sport that is taking stuff. I think obviously they also need to test more. Out of season competitions, like so Waterpalooza needs tested. Like I won 100 grand and I didn't get drugs tested. I don't think that's right. So yeah, I think drug tests need to be done throughout the year. Off season comps, CrossFit should be at those comps, randomly picking people. And just in general, more testing needs done.
100 grand. Imagine winning 100 grand. That's just crazy. And not a needle or a little whatever things what do you call the things you wee into test tube? I don't know. Anyway, all right. Receptacle. Rollo, you're up next. You got 60 seconds. Goodbye. Your time starts now.
No, I think education around this is super important. I don't think a lot of people know, but heads are bad. They're not good. First off, you're gonna have small PP, maybe. Anger, lots of anger, much anger. Less hair could be good or bad, just really depending on like what you're looking for. And then really, really sad. You're gonna be really sad. Sometimes anger, sometimes sad. You're gonna need like paper shit coffee to really just bump you up, bring you down. We really don't know, but you're experiencing all of these. I understand kind of why you're taking them. You're gonna be strong at least and look good. So I don't know. Yeah. So
it's almost like an advertisement.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're basically making it sound like once you have paper sheet coffee to hand, you'll be able to balance any of the negative side effects.
Yeah,
and you also
confirm nor deny.
You also haven't even come close to answering the fucking question. So.
I don't even. Have you seen how strong I'm getting? So I don't really know what you want me to tell you.
All right, Joel. You got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I was so worried when I saw him get up and go to a whiteboard and then he didn't answer the question and I felt better about it. Listen, perception is what it is. Like you can't control whether or not Joe Rogan knows that CrossFit tests its athletes. He is a phenomenal UFC commentator and a tremendous broadcast analyst, but I think it's pretty well known that he has an interesting relationship with the facts on a wide variety of topics. So if he wants to talk about what he thinks CrossFit's drug testing policy is, that's one thing. But CrossFit has a drug testing policy. It's published. Athletes are tested at the CrossFit Games. They're tested at semifinals, and they're tested out of competition. So they have a policy. It's the same company that does Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NCAA, the NBA. So there's something that is in place. The only thing you could probably do is try to rebut people out there in the world when they make wrong accusations, but you might chase your tail doing that. So.
All right, Emma. Back to you. You got 20 seconds to, Joel said, rebut something that was said. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, just nothing really much more to say. I just think everyone's gonna have an opinion, unfortunately. Obviously, we get some testing done. I don't think there's enough to probably have a higher stat to say there's this many clean athletes.
And you ran out of time. You probably actually should have started talking when your timer started.
I didn't have a clue what to say, to be honest.
All right, Rollo, you got 20 seconds to try and earn a point. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Well, we'll just get the athletes to just do drug tests every single week. They can just pay for it for themselves. I know they're rich anyway. CrossFit Games athletes, they all have a bunch of money. So yeah, every week get a drug test and then post it online and we'll do it live. And if you pass, you're good to go. If you fail, then you're going to make AdSense at least.
That was funny. All right, Joel, you got 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I mean, they test people. I don't know what else. It's such an easy pot shot, and people like to take shots because it's oh, CrossFit, they look great. They must be on PEDs. And are there some that are? Statistically, probably. But the vast majority of them, not. And they get tested and have at it.
And you're out of time. Yeah. Statistically, at least the person in the thumbnail of this video is probably should be looked at. Emma, have you ever been accused of being on PEDs by anyone?
No, thankfully not. And if you just seen the latest CrossFit stat, I'm the outlier and having the smallest quads in the CrossFit Games. So clearly, whatever. If I was taking, I'd be taking the wrong stuff. So
What stat was that? Did they measure your quads?
So they asked us all after semi-finals, could we send in the measurements of our quads? So mine was 21 inches, and I said, I guarantee I have the smallest quads in CrossFit. And she was like, no, definitely not. So I came in as the outlier of the smallest quads in CrossFit.
Did,
Wow.
That price.
Did Kyra Milligan win for biggest quads? Because I'm gonna feel let down if quads.
He had to, surely. I think like the biggest was like 24 or 25 inches.
Yeah, it's not a huge variation.
Well, 2 inches, I'm sure.
Did you just say 4
No,
inches?
2 inches is neither here nor there, Emma. Shush. If like if you're 2 inches below average, you're basically average. It's fine. Do you think everyone was honest with their statistics? Like, do you think anybody was like, I'm 21, fuck it, I'll say 25, who cares? Or like, oh, I'm 26, I'll say 24. Like, people don't actually put in their proper Fran time or their proper like snatch or whatever.
Oh, like you like to think if you're asked the question, you'll answer it honestly. Like,
Yeah,
we'll see.
She's passed multiple. This is the thumbnail. I only use her as a thumbnail because she mentioned it herself in a post. I translated from Portuguese myself using the C translation button. But she said, she basically said, you know, if people have nothing better to talk about, like let them keep talking. She's kind of like shrugging or whatever, which is fair. Yeah, she's also a biologist, I think, isn't she? I'm pretty sure she's like a qualified biologist. Just a side note. Okay, points. How do I hide that? There you go. Right.
You didn't ask if I was on PEDs, Peter.
So you can kind of, you know, you can assess things pretty quickly with Joel. You actually, I'm just going to take your point off you, Joel, for that.
I weigh 132 pounds.
Rollo, you're on 0.5. That was purely just an entertainment half point. I was going to give you a second half point for the AdSense comment, but I couldn't in good conscience leave you on the same points as Joel, who actually answered the question. Just wouldn't have been fair. I'm on 2 there. Yeah, I think just you know, more testing. I think that's one of the answers anyway. Although I mean, we've seen it in the Olympics. Like how many medals have Russia won? Like they were questionable. So I think, you know, testing is fine. But as you know, as Halpin is kind of mentioned here, you know, if we're just going to doubt our own standards, it's like, yeah, I mean, there was testing in the Tour de France and there was testing in the Olympics, and you know, like it's not foolproof. All right, second question, Rollo, you're up first on this one. What is the answer to the media issue? So what we're talking about here is the fact that there has been, you know, we're still waiting to see what's happening with credentials being handed out. We've got like whatever, a couple of weeks left. We've got Hitler's been denied a media pass. CTP has been denied a media pass from what I've heard. You know, there's a kind of list of reasons why people are being denied. Fuck's sake. A list of reasons why people are being denied media passes. And they've vary from, you cannot represent an individual athlete, you cannot represent a camp, you cannot, you know, there's kind of a rules that people are kind of cookie cutter rules that people are falling into. So is there an answer to this issue? Is there an answer for more consistency or more, you know, clarity across the season? Oh, I nearly just mute him right from the fucking start. This is, why did I invite him on? All right, Roderick, you've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Send him in. Yeah, no. Next. No.
Oh wow, we're getting both sides. So this is like as if it's happening in the moment. Fucking hell.
This is a great use of time.
Is he waiting for me to send him in?
No. Okay.
I think he's role playing people getting refused media.
I am real media. Let me in. No. I'm telling you, I'm real.
That's hard to play drunk, Rollo. It's a hard job.
What's up, everybody?
I hope he gets muted for his last one.
Damn it, did it in time.
Cool. I don't really know what to do with that. That's the first time I've actually ever witnessed mental breakdown, like in person. I've never actually seen it in real time. I've heard stories, but okay. Joel, like you can't do worse than that, right? You've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I was actually going to make a real point, but that was great. Look, like when you go to the CrossFit game, there is so much media at the CrossFit games. You cannot trip without hitting somebody that has a camera. The amount of access that there is at the CrossFit games, we all like to think in a lot of ways we're restricted, and it's irresponsible of me to talk about anybody's one individual situation without knowing it specifically. Compare what the CrossFit games access is to like if you tried to go shoot video at an NFL game. I went to the NCAA lacrosse championships this year. You're not allowed to shoot video on the field during the game. They will revoke your credential. It's a rights issue. So like if you compare what CrossFit's media standards are, and I actually think they do a really good job. I know it's easy that people try to dunk on them. I actually think it's good by and large. It's so much broader than what it is out there for other sports if you try to compare on other levels.
All right, Emma, 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I just think they should let Peter allocate the media slots.
Just to refuse everyone.
Just let you in, and then that's it, done.
Just me and a tumbleweed.
What the solution is, but I just think like they need to have a system and have it in place from the start of the year, so obviously people can plan ahead. But letting people in 2 weeks before, obviously that might like reduce travel if they can get a hotel, etc., etc. I think it should be laid out from the start of the year so people get an understanding of how to get access.
Yeah, not bad. All right, Rollo. You got 20 seconds to do with as you please. Off you go.
Let them all in. Whoever makes the best videos can come back next year with the most views, the most likes, etc. Everybody else, you can never come back. So if you don't produce anything of value, you're gone forever. You produce good stuff of value, you can come back and keep creating content.
It's actually not a bad idea. All right, Joel, off you go.
Yeah, it's actually, to Roderick's point, it's actually interesting because I asked one of my friends who works for one of the major sports organizations in the States. My countdown clock's not even going, so I don't know where my 20 seconds
Oh,
is.
shit, sorry.
It's okay. And their reaction was like, do they just get to shoot for everybody, or do they have to shoot for their specific athlete? So they were almost kind of shocked at the amount of access that there is.
Emma, off you go.
Just let Peter do the allocation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a stupid idea, though. Whatever way you shake it out. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I kind of think Clydesdale, Scott, and what was the girl's name? Amy. They were talking about it the other day, and Scott, I think, to Emma's point, had a decent idea of just laying it out for the calendar year. You know, that it's like probably fine if you're from the general vicinity or within a few hours to travel there. If you're hearing like the week before, 2 weeks before, like whatever. But when it's a longer timeline and you're from further away, it's kind of tricky. Like they should, I think Scott had a good idea of you just like, you apply at the start of the year, you apply after this season is over, you say, hey, I want to do semifinals, I'll be here, and I want to do, you know, this, I'll be there. And then you're approved or you're denied for the year. And then they can leave it. He finished off by saying, like, you can leave it as it's at our discretion. Like at any point we can say, actually, we've changed our parameters, or you've lost a member, you know, like we're cutting your team down from 4 to 2 because of restrictions or because of whatever. But yeah, I think that, you know, maybe we lean a bit too much on the unknown and unknowable when it comes to media access and stuff. Did you actually record a meme? Did you record that, Roderick? Or
yeah, I'm going to post it and collab it with you.
That's so good.
Wow. Just got a point for that.
He should. If he doesn't come on the show, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say too is like I think we get stuck in this spot where it's like the delineation between what is media, what is a content creator. Like if you're going to apply to go to the Super Bowl, you have to have an actual like media organization you're representing, and that can be a content creator, but there has to be something behind it. It can't just be like, I am a person who has a YouTube following or who has an Instagram following, so you should credential me. Some of those people should get credentials, probably legit. But the idea that everybody who has a voice should get a credential, like that's up to CrossFit. They got limited space, they got limited resources. Yeah.
Small team. All right. Last one. The other day, Castro, in one of his what will soon be like a lot quicker than I thought it certainly would be, 80 interviews. Have you talked to him yet, Emma?
Not yet, no.
Are you going to have a translator or just chance it?
I'm just going to wing it.
Has he contacted you about doing it?
No.
Oh, he's saving the best to last. That's easy. So he's doing all 80 over the whatever he has left, 2 weeks. He's on pace. He spoke to God, who was he talking to? Panchik the other like 3 or 4 days ago, and he asked about teams, and he said, would you ever separate like teams and individuals? And then I think Dave asked back, if they were separate like timeline wise as well as being separate events, would you consider doing both across the season? Would you consider doing a team and doing individual? And the answer was yes. So off the back of that, my question is, should teams and individual CrossFit seasons run not parallel to each other, but like on separate timelines across the calendar year? So you'd have the team competition and then the individual, or vice versa. I need to show the scores first, as someone has just reminded me. So Joel and Roderick are on 2. Emma's on 2.5. So basically whoever wins this is going to win, pretty much.
He just going to come back to see Emma speak again, not either of us. So
I don't know, like mental breakdowns are pretty entertaining. That was good. All right, our last topic anyway. Should teams and individual run in separate seasons? Joel, you're first on this one. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
First off, I'm just impressed by Dave because I have to speak to all of the teams, and that's only 30, and I'm like 26 of them down. So kudos to him for doing all 80 individuals and actually streaming it. I'm all about teams. That's what I've broadcast for the last couple of years. Anything that makes team competition awesome, I'm all for. I love when you get big names in team competition. So anything that helps get more eyes and creates more opportunities and creates more competition from people, I'm a huge fan of. I do like having the team competition at the games, though, because I think it adds. Obviously, because that's the part of the games that I'm most focused on and most about. So I love having that piece there. I also think it's different. There's a difference to competing on a team at the games than there is to competing individually at the games. And I love having that route and that opportunity for people. So I would hate to see that go away. But I love the separation of the age groups. So I think the separation of teams could be interesting.
All right. Emma, 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I don't think you should like delete the games anymore. I mean, individual competition. I think it's nice, obviously, still having the teams, and I probably would rather have the masters and the teenagers still there as well, because it's something to aspire to get through to and to watch and see. And even as some team athletes aspire to be athletes, so I think taking away from each other might change maybe their path. But then again, I also do think there is a place for another team competition to show all the athletes have super teams, like, but that could be like also like a separate thing, kind of like what we used to have, like the invitational, but it could maybe a bigger expansion of that, whether it's like comps or training battles against training groups or something like that. So there is a place for teams, but I think to stay with the games for now.
Roderick, you can make your way over to your whiteboard there. Your time starts now.
I think the idea is just about as good as me doing this in my office, to be honest. My computers are in here. Let's just get less people. It's such a bad idea.
45 seconds. Keep going. If you go unbroken for the full minute, I'll give you a point.
That's an empty bar.
No, I can hear plates. Sounds like it's about 40 kilos.
He's making 40 kilos look Evan.
He's trying to get lower. You got like 23 seconds. No, this doesn't count as going unbroken when you pause.
What's that?
Is anybody counting? Yeah, you're out of time. How many did you do?
69. There you go.
Sick.
That's true.
What's on it?
I'm not a games athlete. I can't talk after that.
That was like 60 kilos. I undersold you there.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
This
Cool.
is my room for error. Here you go. There's my
Jesus. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
bar path. A1. Let's go.
Yeah, that was impressive. Like largely pointless, but impressive. Okay, Joel, you got 20 seconds, and your time starts now. Off you go.
Only thing I'll say is, regardless of where the competition is, if it's broken up, teams, individuals, age groups, support competitions. Because I was at the games in 2022 when Rich Froning competed in his last event, and it was after an individual event, and the Coliseum emptied out for Rich Froning. So support people. Super.
Your time's up. You're muted. Sorry, man. That was so impassioned as well. All right, Emma, 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I just think keep as much people all together for as long as we can. Don't dilute the sport, and obviously support each one now that it is separated.
And Roderick, 20 seconds. Off you go.
Stop splitting everything up. The attendance at all these events are just going down. Just have one gigantic event. We'll make it work. We can all meet up there. Attendance is down at all the other ones. So why keep splitting them up?
You okay?
No.
All right. I need to go up some scores. We've got this is completely unbiased, I'm sure, just judging by the surname here. Emma wins from Louise McGuinness. Emma wins, great points. Best of luck in Texas. You do Ireland proud. There you go. Okay. Matt Souza could host indie games at a smaller, cheaper venue and then charge a fee to stream the event. Could do the same with Pairs event in the off season. Souza says, I like that idea, Seth. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You're doing FitFest, Emma, right? You're a team captain on that.
Yep.
And then SoCal as well. That's in like September or whatever. So you got SoCal in September, FitFest in December, I think.
Pretty cool.
And then like the team of 3 in Wadapalooza. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I'm kind of sided with Roderick on, like, you know, when you keep separating things, but then I was also there, whatever, like last year, same thing as Joel is talking about, where you're sitting there watching the final heat of the individuals and the final event of the teams is coming up, and whoever won the event was going to take gold. And there was just like a mass evacuation. It's just like, okay, cool. Like, that must be shit. If you're like down there and you're just coming out for your heat and you just see backs of people like leaving the venue.
It's not going to change if we split the event.
That's the thing. If you have them in their own event, but then
their mom and dad are going to show up.
If even, I mean, I was talking to Chris Ibarra. He's going individual, and his parents aren't going to the games. So like, it's not even a.
The pit's going to be cool. So like the teenage thing, I'm really excited for. But like, I honestly, like on the team thing, like people legitimately left the arena before Rich Froning's final event. So like when people are like, you need star power to make the teams matter, like, no, like you got to support. Like the stars are there. Like Noah Olsen's going to be there. Annie, some of the team athletes are there. You just have to stay.
people show what they care about with the money, and they're not going to pay to watch teams.
Would you do too, Emma, if the season was split, if like, I don't know, you guys didn't have to do the open or whatever, and if they'd obviously have to change I don't know what the fuck they'd do, but if they had a season running from say January to June, that was like a team season, and then from July to December that was an individual season, would you do both, or would you still be like, no, I just won?
Like that's a year-round calendar. Like,
Yeah.
Like, where's your time to have a life? Like I think it would just probably depend on the time in your life and your career. But like it'd be really taxing to be able to do that. I'd rather just compete as an individual and then have the flexibility and to do a team comp if you want to do a team comp, like the Fit Fest. It's in December, so I know I've got a nice big block of off season that I can just go and drink and eat shit and have a life for a couple of months. But if you were to be in season for 12 months, like I don't know who wants to do that. Like that's fairly miserable.
Yeah.
So no, it would need to work so you can still have an off season.
That would be the hard thing about splitting it up so that you could do both, is I would be afraid that you would get individual athletes that would train for the individual games and then do the team thing as like a fun, we also get to do it. And you would lose the seriousness of like the CrossFit games for teams because it would be seen as like an additional competition.
But would people show up to watch it? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. That's the thing. Joel, are you commentating at the games this year?
Doing teams.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is that was there talk that you weren't doing that or no?
I don't know. When they call me, I show up. If they don't call me, I don't go. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Maybe someone told me that you shouldn't be asked. Maybe that was it. No, I'm joking. Okay. Final points. So Joel's on 2.5.
Yeah.
Roderick, honestly, just the like ridiculousness of the things that he did got him. He actually made some fairly succinct points.
I answered your
20
questions
seconds.
in 20 seconds instead of 60 seconds, so I don't know. I have 3 points. You agreed with all my points in 20 seconds, and I gave you a show. So if you don't want me back, Pedro, it's okay. I get it.
I didn't want you here in the first place.
I'm not gonna hold your camera next event. All right, man.
Emma takes on 4. Unfortunately for Emma, that means she has to come back next week for the semi-final. But if she doesn't, it sounds like Roderick's really keen to step in.
No, I'm out, dude. I'm out.
Emma, you got 30 seconds. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. So yourself or daily grind or whatever. Off you go.
Are you going to the CrossFit Games?
Me, yeah. I haven't gotten any word yet. I've got flights booked.
Well, let's start. What are you gonna do if you don't get media pass?
I honestly don't know. I'll probably just like. I mean, I didn't have the access I got last year. I didn't have. I just kind of took. So I'll probably just try and do the same thing again.
Sounds good.
So go to Federation Field and talk to athletes off site. You know, you can cover the games without a pass.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Knapp was a soft touch last year, though. He like found me in the wrong place, and I like just kind of like duped him I got another hour out of it by just duping him. Yeah, but he's not there anymore. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, Roderick, genuinely, sincerely, thank you. Really appreciate your time coming on. Joel, thank you. Also, like genuine and sincere, but I just wanted to make that extra clear with Roderick. Emma, thanks. Joel, best luck, commentary, all that stuff. Roderick, you're going, to Texas, yeah. Roderick, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, I'll see you there. Emma, I'll see you next Wednesday, same time. Thank you, everybody, for commenting. Go and watch Spin tonight. They are talking about Spin. Like, it's actually nuts how the information that he got, how quickly he got it, and how quickly he put it out. They announced the workout yesterday, and he had the lake within like 4 minutes. He had an article written and a video, a first-person perspective video of the trail that is likely to be at least part of the trail for whatever the 4 mile total thing is. And he had the right lake and everything. I mean, CrossFit couldn't even use the right fucking shoe sponsor in their video, and he was able to do that within like 2 minutes. And he also shared a clip recently from Castro's interview with Campos, where he said that Chad is going to be the first event on the Saturday morning, and directly after Chad is going to be the cut. So never have step-ups mattered more to anyone. There's going to be 10 people stepping harder than they've ever stepped. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks, contestants. And who the fuck do I have on Friday? Elisa Fuliano at 8 o'clock my time, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Not sure how good my Italian is, but we'll